If you're shopping for a security system, here's a mistake I saw all the time. People compare brands when the real decision is who's doing the work. Because a security system isn't just a box you buy, it's design first, then installation, testing, and what happens when something breaks. I'm going to show you what a national provider actually changes and what they usually don't, so you can choose the direction that fits your house and your tolerance for troubleshooting. For quick context, I founded and ran a security alarm installation business for 20 years. I've seen DIY done really well, and I've seen professional installs done poorly. So this is not a brand rant, it's a decision framework. Here's the simplest way to think about it. When you choose DIY, you're choosing ownership. You own the design, you own the installation, you own the testing, and when something doesn't work, you own the troubleshooting. When you choose a national provider, you're paying to outsource a lot of that work. Not just the install, also the support path after the install. So if you remember one idea from this video, here it is. National providers mostly change who installs it and who fixes it. They do not automatically change how well your home is covered. Let's start with the biggest change, the install. With DIY, you're spending weekends on ladders, pairing sensors, figuring out where things should go, and then learning how to test it correctly. With a national provider, the main benefit is you don't have to do that. They send someone out, they install it, and in theory, you're done. And that in theory matters. In theory, a national provider gives you access to experience, design, placement, life safety standards, proper testing, and knowing what tends to fail over time. But here's the part most people don't want to hear. That expertise is not free, and results vary depending on who they send to your house on that particular day. In my experience, the difference is rarely the brand, it's the installer and the time they're allowed to spend. Some techs are excellent, some are rushed, some are new. So yes, going national can raise your odds of a clean install, but it doesn't guarantee it. The second big change is what happens after month one. Systems don't usually fail in a dramatic way. They develop friction slowly over time. A door contact becomes slightly misaligned. A motion gets false alarms from placement or airflow or direct sunlight during certain times of the year. Sensor batteries report low prematurely. The main hub loses connection with sensors or keypads. You get trouble beeps you don't understand. With DIY, you're the service department. You diagnose it, you replace it, you retest it. With a national provider, you typically have a path. You call support, they schedule service, and the problem becomes their ticket, not your weekend. That alone is the reason a lot of homeowners choose national. They're not buying better sensors, they're buying less responsibility. The third change is commitment. DIY is usually flexible. You can cancel monitoring, switch monitoring, change equipment, or do nothing at all. National providers often come with longer-term agreements, sometimes financing, sometimes service plans, sometimes cancellation costs. So you're trading flexibility for a more managed experience. That's not good or bad, it's a trade. Now for the part that separates a system that feels good from a system that actually protects your home. A bad install is obvious. A sensor falls off, something doesn't connect, a keypad doesn't work. But a bad design is quiet. I've been in homes with multi-thousand-dollar security systems where the easiest intrusion path had no meaningful detection. Everything looks fine. The app works, the sensors show online, and you still may have coverage gaps. This is where people can get disappointed with professional installs, because many installs are optimized for speed and simplicity. Front door, back door, a motion, done. That's not always wrong, but it's not automatically right for your home. Real coverage depends on things like how you actually enter and exit, which doors you actually use, what areas need detection while you're home, what the normal motion patterns are in the house, whether you have pets, airflow, odd layouts, glass exposure, attached garages. So here's the key point. A national provider may install the system, but they don't automatically redesign your home's security plan in a customized way, especially if the appointment is rushed. If you want the national route to be worth it, you still have to care about design and testing, even if you don't do the labor yourself. A few things don't magically improve just because you picked a national provider. Sensors have limits. Motion sensors have coverage patterns. Door contacts need alignment. Glass break detectors have range and placement constraints. These are not flaws, they're just hardware limitations, and they're mostly consistent across the same types of devices, regardless of the make and model. If you're having cameras installed and your Wi-Fi is weak, or your equipment location is bad, or you have power issues, you can still have reliability problems. A national logo alone can't fix weak signal or overcome excessive environmental interference. If you don't arm it consistently, or you bypass sensors because they're annoying, the system becomes decoration. That's usually true for every brand and every provider. So here's the simplest way to choose. Choose DIY if you want maximum flexibility, no long-term contract, you don't mind learning, testing, and troubleshooting, and you want control over upgrades. Choose a national provider if you want professional experience behind your system's design, if you want to outsource installation and troubleshooting, if you want a clear support path when something breaks, and if you're okay with the contract trade-offs. And just so we continue to keep all options in perspective, there's also a third alternative as we discussed in an earlier video, and that's working with a local dealer or custom installer, which can be a strong fit when you want higher design attention, deeper smart home system integration, or perhaps more personalized service without the national style one-size package. We'll discuss this option more in an upcoming video. So, if you're deciding right now between DIY and a national provider, here's the question I'd use. Do you want no contract or do you want no troubleshooting? Drop a comment and let me know which matters more in your house, flexibility or having someone else own the problems. And if you want the full breakdown of DIY versus national versus local, I've put that link here and in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.